Good morning. My name is Rebecca.
And my name is Caroline.
We are the COS team, and we have come from Sydney, Australia, and are honoured to be here today to present our speech on the path to unification on the Korean Peninsula. To preface our speech, I would like to state that I hope we treat this matter with due sensitivity and understanding. We do not intend or wish to cause offence or provoke anyone. We seek only to relay our views and vision and inspire reflection, discussion, and change.
To begin, it is important to acknowledge the complexity of the status quo, the situation as it is today. North Korea and South Korea are recognized worldwide as two separate countries divided by past conflicts and the passage of time. Long ago, they were united, but the two have diverged in many ways over the years. There are myriad perspectives with regard to the two countries. However, in my experience, I have found that they are generally negative towards the North Korean government and either positive, neutral, or negative towards the North Korean people. Conversely, South Korean and their government are received positively or neutrally. Current views are such that, in the case of unification, many might consider South Korea to be the benefactor and North Korea the beneficiary. Should there be unification between the North and South, they will not start off on equal footing. Although, in reality, there may be notable deficiencies particular to both sides, the contrasting opinions of the two countries set an imbalance and possible power play which may delay or disrupt or impact on peaceful, smooth unification. For a graceful coming together, it is important that these power-driven methods are discouraged or eroded away. While there are weaknesses in all governments and societies, governments and their people should focus on what they together can work towards, not how much one can give and how much another will take. Rather than focusing on what is wrong with both or either country, the attention should be directed towards what could be improved. Blame and criticism will merely result in further separation and opposition.
There is, of course, compassion towards the North Korean people. However, as can often be the case, this goodwill does not typically extend beyond sympathy. There is perhaps either resignation, helpless acceptance, or tolerance of the division, potentially ignorance or apathy, and this incites inaction. The elderly have a palpable connection to the Korea of old and long for unification, while the youth lack this connection in general. Less people are telling stories, and there are less things to relate to. The older generations continue to age as the youth mature and pave the paths that their society and country will take, or they tread old paths already paved by those before them. Although the digital era has boomed with irreversible haste, and stories and knowledge are easily accessible, there are not as many personal links to North Korea. These personal links exist mainly for elderly Koreans and their children, who retain some connection by virtue of their parents' influence or bearing witness to their pain, displeasure, and longing. As we emerge from youth and expand our social spheres and perceptions, we cannot easily class people into me and not me, the way we could in childhood and adolescence. People are either family or not. They are either like us or unlike us. We become accustomed to separating people into a variety of groups, socioeconomic groups, groups based on academic or workability, or groups based on what others can do for us. Yet North Koreans, South Koreans, we are the same. Some of us have everything, some of us have nothing. Some of us live a life of struggle, and some of us live a life of wealth and opportunity. Some of us flower, some of us do not, but we are all buds from the same bushes. We need to find out what can unite us, what can help us to feel like we are one common people again. There have been ample opportunities for both sides to divide and separate themselves from each other. And indeed, one could argue that time has already done that for them. On the road to unification, this gap must be closed, and this may be achieved through communication and a shared sense of purpose and the practice of compassion and patience. Because of the large changes that would follow on, there will be a shift in the expected rights, duties, and actions of citizens. This is a risky consequence, given that people do come from different cultures with different mindsets. However, the suitable attitude for all is to focus on the future. The future is the destination, not the past. Within groups and nations where there is a kind of tunnel vision and an unrelenting fixation on past hurt and past wrongs, there will never be any forward movement. There will be no momentum and there will be no progression. We must understand that there is no longer a North and a South Korea. There will be the memory of these former nations, but there will only be one Korea and therefore one people. This attitude should be an easy one, so long as everyone is aware that nothing needs to be sacrificed. Both people will need one another in this. No one will benefit from new tensions or a minority group being placed in the role of the underdog. It will make us passive, less productive, and that will initiate an unfortunate descent into discrimination, growing resentment, and stagnation. It will hurt everyone and everything, irrespective of who stands where and on what platform. The South and North need to teach each other who they are and what they do, how they differ, and what they have in common. Those variables are required to calculate one very objective outcome. What state of the nation would, as a matter of fact, be best? Topics such as forms of government, ideologies and values, legal systems, education and welfare, policies and law, distribution of labor, resources and spending should be discussed diplomatically and conscientiously by a modern Senate comprised of diplomatic specialists originating from the former North and South Koreas, who would then consult with the public regularly through nationwide referendums. This communication amongst officials and the public must come from the rational mind, not a place of unbridled emotion and superiority. Superiority is an illusion, yet it is practiced with such vigor and comfort by individuals, societies, organizations, and governments. It is the root cause of conflict. Should we not instead refrain from disparaging our so-called opponents and participate in dialogue to map out similarities? Do we not thrive most when we bolster each other by working together and valuing each other's input? And what of education and awareness? Consistent, unbiased, and uncensored education throughout the One Korea is crucial. Education is empowerment, and it can raise people out of ignorance and poverty, and even the crippling stronghold of self-doubt. Knowledge is the most valuable commodity after food, water, and safe shelter. It will equip us with the capacity to broaden our perspectives and challenge prevailing views. We prosper when our belief systems are not static. We can learn to be constructive with ourselves and others, and this all builds upon the notion of equality. The issues and the solutions are the domains of the two Koreas, but the approach to the solutions remains universal. It is a matter of consensus, diplomacy, participation, awareness, and understanding. This is what will unite us and foster kinsmanship and equality. And this will be true unification. Once this is achieved, the North and South would showcase their capacity for brotherhood and togetherness on the global stage and set an extraordinary precedent for the course of action required to reconcile conflicting nations or groups of nations. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.